Okay, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Easy Markets Daily Pitch International with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 20th, I want to say 30th of October, 2023. So, yeah, welcome, everyone. Welcome to this Monday's morning session. Yeah, as always, we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, guys. I mean, we'll have a look at what's happening this week. And we do have an interesting week ahead of us. So yeah, before we go further, as always, I need to have a quick look at the risk disclaimers. So yep, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations, and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. Look, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest. I'll disappear here for a little bit, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so now then, also just before we go further, as always, just a quick mentioning of our Easy Markets website, which you can always check out for more information about us. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you out and assist you. So, yep, if we can, we will do that. So, guys, let me just double check everything. The lights here. Yep, there we go. So, look, let's jump into the charts. We do have a busy week ahead of us. And first thing, of course, I'll look at the technicals. I'll look at some of the fundamentals. But the one thing, of course, the first one is Nikkei, as always. And if I just go from what I had drawn last week, I said to you that, look, maybe if we do violate this upside line and then drop below the 30,558 territory, then yes, more sellers could join in. So we kept on dropping, but this hurdle kept on providing support. So in a way, I will say that I'm going to get rid of this upside line, and I'm going to just stick to the this barrier, this little hurdle right here. And if that gets broken, then my next target is the lowest point of, or should I say, the current lowest point of October still, because we still have 2 days left of trading in October, so let's not forget about that. So yeah, and then maybe we'll create a new low for October. Let's see. Let's wait and see. But of course, guys, I mean, you need to, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, you need to kind of keep an eye on the economic calendar this week, because we do have some Japanese data coming out. Maybe not today. Tomorrow we start off with unemployment rate, industrial production numbers. So yes, keep those in mind. That's coming out tomorrow morning. Also, the same day, after a few hours, we get the BOJ interest rate decision. So that's something to keep in mind, guys. So yeah, very important. The moment the interest rate forecast is for the same number as previous at minus 0.1%. So yep, if we have something, let's say a number which it comes out as zero, maybe, or maybe even, let's say, maybe above zero, maybe we'll see. Well, maybe then there will be something that could drive the market. I mean, at the moment, I wouldn't say that there would be to the upside, but again, maybe there is something out there that could be, could be considered differently. So look, at the moment, normally if the interest rates rise, then it's bad for the stock market, right? So, but again, like I said, we'll see how the numbers play out, how the industrial production numbers come out. Yep, and then what and also the housing starts, household confidence numbers. That's what's also important from Japan, coming out at the same time as Sorry, a little bit later after the interest rate decision. So something again to consider. So keep your eyes on that. But look, from the technical perspective, I would say if we do drop below that 30,558, I'll go to the downside. China 50 index. So yes, we're still holding, or at least trying to hold above this 11,883 zone here. Okay, that's great. My next question here is, can we see a break of this downside line here? I mean, at the moment, the question, of course, can we see a test of that downside line? Well, so far, I'm leaning towards that as long as we remain above the 11,883 zone right here. If that gets cleared, if that downside line gets cleared, then yes, my next target is at 12,230, and then we'll take it from there. In terms of the downside, well, I think that at this point I would need to see a drop somewhere maybe below this upside line. Again, this is a little bit on the tentative side, don't get me wrong, because again, it may be drawn this way, maybe that way, maybe actually this way is a little bit better because it kind of we're leaving a little bit of room for maneuverability. And at the same time, if we do drop below that 11,883 territory, back below it, then yes, I will consider a bit of a move to the downside. So let's keep an eye on that one. And again, also don't forget to keep an eye on the Chinese data. Look, today, nothing. Tomorrow, yes, Chinese composite, manufacturing, and non-manufacturing PMIs are coming out, so this could be a bit of a mover. Not to mention the U.S. stock market itself as well, mover for the China 50 index. On Wednesday, we have the Tianjin manufacturing PMI figure. Then I think that's kind of it. I think Friday, that's when, Tianjin services PMI. Yeah, there we go. So Thursday will be a little bit of a quiet day in terms of economic data from China. But yep, keep your eyes on the numbers tomorrow, starting off from tomorrow, guys. And in general, this week could be quite volatile, and because we have not to mention economic numbers from Asia, from Europe, and of course the US. I mean, because this week is the Fed week. If you don't know that, is the Fed week, and the same time NFP week. So I mean, boom, congratulations. We might see some big action, but I want to say to you that, and I want to warn you straight away that look, the end of it's basically the week is like just explosive because we have 2 days left of trading in the end of this month. For the end of this month, we like it basically normally whenever we get like the end of the month, it's like always like we see some sort of crazy activity. Everybody's maybe trying to take some profits or something like that, and then we start off the new month in the same week here. I mean, that's not something new, of course, but in general, it just kind of combines, and then combines with all the economic data that we were getting as well this week. So the beginning of the month as well is something that we always look out for very carefully, because again, we might see some one-way traffics, and if you're, let's say, if you like to trade the counter trend, the other way around, you like to counter trend trading, to do that, then yes, you need to be a little bit on the careful side, because we might get, like I said, some one-way traffics, and that's why have your stop losses in place and risk only what you can afford to lose. So yes, that's the situation here with the China 50, ASX 200. Now Australia. Look, last week we remained below my highlighted zone areas here, and I said to you that I need to see, in order to go higher, I need to see a push somewhere above that 6,900 zone. Did I get that? No, I got a little false breakout, and that's it. And then it started drifting back down. So far, so good. Look, we're still below that 6,800 zone. I talked about this level as well. I said to you that if we do drop below it, then yes, I will go further south. And now, in terms of further south, so I think I need to grab a few levels here. Yes, let me just grab a horizontal line. So my next target will be somewhere around here. Yep, there we go. So 6,635, as long as we remain below that 6,800 zone, that's going to be my next target. and then we'll take it from there. So basically, this is what I'm going to be targeting. If we somehow start climbing back up, look, I will, at this point, I think that I will lower down my upside scenario, and we'll start looking at some higher levels. If we do come back above this 6,850 zone right here, the highlighted zone, which is the lowest point of January of this year. Basically, it was the previous kind of lowest point of this year until we kind of broke it in October. So that one, I will keep an eye on that hurdle. If we do climb back above it, then yes, I'll consider a larger correction to the upside. Let me just yeah, as always, just a second. Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody's having a wonderful start of Monday. I hope everybody is feeling relaxed and, you know, and easy, and just like easy markets. Oh, there we go. That's I was like planning for that, like to jump in with that one, like a cool phrase, you know, like a hidden message there. Like, so yes, I mean, there we go. Fantastic, good start of Monday. With my lame jokes. Anyway, so jumping into the US indices. So of course, we are watching the US market very, very carefully. Look, I talked about this last week. I said to you that if we clear and we drop and we stay below my 33,000 mark, guess what? My next target is this one right here, the 32,620, marked by the lowest point of May. Boom. Tick. Mission accomplished. Should I say, team, we're heading home? No, not really, because I think that there is something else to catch here. So look, I think that this level, it might not be relevant anymore, actually. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to allow it to maneuver here a little bit, because what I'm seeing here is a possible bearish flag. Again, will that be the case? We'll see. If you're looking for some higher levels, then I would say wait for a break back above this 33,000 territory right here, and then yes, we will go from there. So long story short, if you're looking for some higher levels, I'm only approaching that only from around here, from this 33,000 mark. Climb back above it, great, I'll go to the upside. Now, in terms of the downside, well, at this point, I would like to see a drop below this hurdle, below that 32,409 zone, approximately around here. That's on the futures, by the way. On the cash index, we might have something else, but basically this lowest point of Friday. If we clear that, then yes, I will go further south. And look at this. I mean, I do have this beautiful level, the lowest point of March. And is it the lowest point of this year? Well, it is indeed. This 31,430 zone, approximately around there, could be a nice good target. But again, let's say at this point, look, let's not rush into things, okay? I know that we do have an eventful week, not to mention, oh, by the way, of course, I forgot. Not to mention that it's the end and the beginning of this month, the end of this month and the beginning of the next month, the same week. Not only that we have like the Federal Reserve on Wednesday. Let me just quickly double check. Yeah, I think it should be like Wednesday. Yes. Yep. Interest rate decision on Wednesday. JOLTS number, job openings on Wednesday as well. ISM manufacturing prices on Wednesday as well. ADP numbers on the way. So honestly, like, prepare some action. Prepare for some action. The 1st of November could be something of a crazy one. And also, yes, apart from all that stuff, earnings. We have earnings this week as well, as same as last week. Yes, so be careful, guys. Be very, very careful, because again, this week, what do we have? Like today, we have McDonald's. Something to keep an eye on. Loaves as well. Then Tuesday, Pfizer, AMD, Amgen, Caterpillar, Cisco. Yes, for solar, that's interesting as well. Okay, Qualcomm Wednesday, yep, Airbnb Wednesday, PayPal Wednesday, another one from Wednesday, AIG. Craft as well. That's one that's interesting as well. Etsy, if somebody's in trading that one. Then we do. Where is that? I just saw something interesting. Maybe okay, I'll pick it up later. But Thursday, Apple, Eli Lilly, ConocoPhillips, Starbucks, Booking.com. Yeah. I mean, look at Marriott hotels. Look, maybe, of course, last week everybody was watching those like Microsoft's and Google's and, Amazon's. But now this week is also quite important. We do have important companies coming out. So on Friday, we'll have the Dominion Energy and who else? The CBOE Global. There we go. Also, so look, if you are interested in stocks, then you need to keep an eye on that one. If you are interested in general, if you're interested in the market, you need to be very, very careful this week. This could be a bit of a roller coaster ride. So, and like I said, I am kind of expecting maybe choppiness and some like one-way traffics, for example, for the day. Like it picks up the direction and farewell. And then next day it might just go the opposite direction, and with the whole big amount. So we'll see. Very interesting week. Like I said, we'll see. If it comes out very quiet, I will be very, very surprised. But again, things happen eventually. So look, looking at this picture here, the technical picture in the Dow, that's my situation. S&P 500, we did drift nicely to the downside here. We fell below that 4,174 territory. That's wonderful. That's great. We kind of reached almost my target here. So yes, the 4,112 territory is something that I'm keeping a close eye on. Still, and again, the same story. And if that gets cleared, well, guess what? I'm going to aim for this 4,062 territory, which could be a nice, good target. Let's see. Let's wait and see. In terms of the upside, I would like to see a push back over the 4,235 territory, and then we'll take it from there. NASDAQ 100, very quickly on that one. So this one is still a little bit holding on better. Yep, but it's doing a better job, I would say, here. So we're still below the 200-day EMA. That's it. So basically, if you're looking for some higher levels, I think that it's better to wait for a pushback above the 200-day EMA, and then we could then aim for this downside line drawn from the high of the 12th of October. Now, if that gets cleared, yes, I'll go a little bit more to the upside. Now, in terms of the downside, yes, a drop below that 14,250 zone here is required. I think this can go a little bit. I need to clear up the chart here a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So 14,250 zone, that's from where I'm going to start looking at some lower levels. And if we do get that, then great. More sellers could join in. So yes, of course, keep your eyes on the NFPs this week. That's coming out on Friday. Let me just quickly remind myself. What was the forecast there? Unemployment the same as previous, 3.8 expected. Non-farm payrolls, okay, lower than the previous number. Okay, to be honest, let me just double check the history here very quickly. It has been quite, let's say, up moving, right? I mean, lately, and last time in September, the number came out like a surprise and much higher. So now they're expecting a lower number. Look, I'm still kind of expecting maybe a decent number to come out. Again, it's very difficult sometimes. And by the way as well, don't forget not to do one thing. Because again, I keep on mentioning this every single time at the end of the month that whenever we get NFPs, on the Wednesdays we also get ADP numbers, and people do like to gauge like their ADP with NFP, but no, don't do that. I mean, that has been off the. I mean, there's no correlation. It's sometimes just one thing's there, one thing's there. It's don't really focus on that too much, because I rather for you to wait for the number to come out and then do something about it. Sorry, I had to get a sip of tea a little bit here. So look, that's the situation here with NASDAQ, the German index. So we are watching carefully this week, and we are keeping an eye on the GDP numbers, German GDP numbers, preliminary numbers, which are coming out today. And also we do get the from Eurozone consumer confidence number, industrials and services sentiment, quite important. And yes, that's kind of it. But and of course, German CPIs, preliminary CPIs are coming out. It seems like that. Let me just double check another calendar, because again, sometimes economic calendars do conflict, and sometimes it seems like it's not really true. But yeah, no, it's all fine. Yes, inflation rate, preliminary inflation rates are coming out from Germany, so keep that in mind. Yeah, so, but that's coming out a little bit later. That's what's interesting. It's coming out like at 4 o'clock. European time. Yeah. Oh, anyway, sorry. No, it's like 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock German time. Okay. Look, looking at the technical picture here on the DAX, we're seeing a nice push back up. Look, I mean, this hurdle, this 14,714 is kind of still, yes, it got violated, but still we're struggling to remain below it. I mean, and we're seeing a push back to the upside. We're testing now the steep downside line. Look, I said to you before that if we do break above the 14,871 territory right here, then yes, I'll consider more a bit of a better move to the upside here, and I'll consider maybe a move back to that psychological 15,000 mark. But of course, if we do start dropping back again below this 14,714 territory, I will consider a move lower. The FTSE 100. So the FTSE 100 is yes, also trying to make its way back up. But in general, look, I talked about this. Okay, we didn't really reach my upside line, but hey, that's absolutely fine, because maybe we'll still reach it. So, the downside scenario is still not off the table, because for me, the upside scenario is from this 7,000, maybe 400 now area. I'll probably lower down my arrow here a little bit, but the downside scenario, yes, there is still a chance for that one to happen, especially if we do fall back below the 7,326 territory. If we can get that done, then yes, I will consider again a move towards my upside support line drawn from the low of the 20th of March, and then we'll go from there. US dollar index, there we go. Oh, by the way, in terms of the British data today, yes, mortgage lending and approvals are coming out, so that's something to keep in mind. And apart from that, I don't think that there's much. Nationwide HPI, yeah, preliminary manufacturing, no, just manufacturing, UK manufacturing PMI coming out on Wednesday. Thursday's quiet. No. Thursday's quiet. I already said I want to say Thursday's quiet. No, BOC. Sorry, BOC. BOE. Bank of England is coming out with an interest rate decision on Thursday, guys. 5.25. That's what's expected. Again, it's going to be very interesting to see if they're going to go for a rate hike or not. Let me just double check their inflation number. Current inflation number, UK 6.7. Well, target, as every central bank, every kind of Western central bank has it, 2%. The same story with BOE. They also have the 2%. Current inflation rate, 6.7, like triple at least, right? Away from the target. So maybe we could actually see a rate hike increase, but look, that's in my head, right? I mean, I would say let's see what's going to happen. I think that maybe there could be a chance, but again, let me just double check something here very quickly, because last time they've paused and last time, sorry, they've paused, even though there wasn't a forecast for a 25 basis point increase, but no, they kept it the same at 5.25. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see if they're actually going to go, because they're coming out after the Fed. So I wonder, it's at this point, I think it's very difficult to say, because maybe they will listen to what the Fed has to say, and maybe they will apply similar logic. And I think that the Fed will keep the rates unchanged for this one, maybe going into December. But again, that one's also becoming a little bit of a moment where everybody's thinking, hey, you know what? It might actually not happen. So yeah, it might just stay as it is for the end of the year, but we'll see. Of course, we'll see. BOE is expected to not to raise right now, but again, last time it was expected to raise and it came out as previous. So this time maybe it'll be the opposite. Maybe they will actually go for a rate hike. We'll see. Let's see what's going to happen there. But again, don't rush into things. Wait for the number to come out, and then maybe you can do something about it. US dollar still we remain above this downside line. Again, of course, the US dollar is the one that's going to be affected very much during this week. So some volatility we could expect there, and we could see some action. So that's why for now I would say that as long as we remain above this downside line, I will continue targeting the upside. I'll continue targeting that 107.05 territory. And if we do fall back below this downside line, then yes, I will consider a move lower and towards my 23.6% retracement on the Fibonacci. And then we'll just go from there. At this point, look, I would say it is a tricky one, because again, we have data coming out, we have events coming out, and of course the whole situation in the Middle East is still a problem, and everything is, I would say, just be careful. So that's why I think at this point I will be applying to a lot of technical analysis. Whenever you have like something like this, like a lot of different events, huge events, the market also looks for some sort of clarity and tries to understand like what could happen. Because when you, let's say, have only one big event coming out, then the market is like, let's say you think that, okay, technically it could work out this way or that way, but no, that one event could, screw up everything, and kind of it could mess up all the technicals, right? I mean, in general, yes. So that's why at this point I think that yes, technicals could also be screwed up, but I think that the market will stick a little bit more to them, just for like some sort of clarity and some sort of kind of stability or something like that. And technical analysis for stability. But anyway, look, at the moment I would say this way: as long as we remain above this downside line, I will continue targeting the upside, especially if we also pop above the 106.57 territory right here, and then we'll go from there. If we do drop back below the downside line, then yes, I will consider a move lower towards that 50-day EMA or this 105.20 territory right there. And then if so on and so on, of course. Gold, let's jump into gold. Beautiful. So did I tell you 2000, or did I tell you 2000 by the end of last week? There we go. On Friday, I mean, boom, guys, there we go. We reached my target. In general, what I want to do here really is remove everything, remove all my drawings and start fresh. Now, first of all, I want to mark the highest point of this month so far, the 2009 level. And yep, that's going to be our barrier for the upside. So at the moment, we can see that we're getting some sort of a hold up near this 1997 territory. Okay, that's absolutely fine. This level becomes quite an interesting one, the 1953, but that's more of a target. Also, 1962 territory is something to be watched. Now, if you're looking for some higher levels, I think that you know what I'm going to say here. I'm going to wait for a pop above that 2009 zone, and then I'll go higher towards my highest point of May near the 2081. But I mean, of course, that's a little bit way too much here. But I think I'm going to aim for this territory for the 2022 level. Good, or 2022 or 2021, roughly around here, guys. that's going to be, yeah, this is going to be my next target. Let me just maybe zoom in here a little bit, grab this arrow. So this is what I'm going to be targeting, and for that I need to see a pop-up of that above that 2009 zone. I get it, it's only a little territory right there, but hey, I want to be a little bit more safe than sorry. At the moment, we're seeing a bit of a retracement in a way that could still happen. I mean, we could see maybe now a retracement all the way towards this 23.6, which beautifully coincides with my level here that I talked about, the 1962. Look at this, just bang on. Like, I mean, it's line in line. So that could be a nice good option. For that, I will, let's say like this, if we continue to trade below that 1997 zone, then there is a good chance to see a larger correction to the downside. Now, I'm not rushing into things yet, but certainly I am examining that downside scenario. But again, I want to see what's going to happen here, especially with that 2009 zone as well. And again, keep your eyes on the economic data this week, guys. I mean, keep your eyes and let's see what's gonna happen with the dollar. But all this action, look, on Friday I said to you, watch out for this, because Friday we might see a strong push higher. Why? Because everybody's like jumping into commodities, and especially jumping into gold because of the whole conflict in the Middle East, and it's like everybody's looking for a safe haven. So gold is one of those, and of course, yes, now we're seeing exactly that, and we saw exactly that on Friday. It pushed higher. So this is what I warned you. If you watched my webinar on Friday, exactly this is what I was saying. So now the question is, what's going to happen next? Well, at this point, like I said, I am considering maybe a larger correction to the downside here. If we do fall below this 1997 territory, I do like that 23.6, but of course I have to be realistic as well. Maybe this is too much, maybe. But if that's too much, then maybe we could consider something like this. So we're currently sitting at around 23.6% retracement on this Fibonacci, this little one here, drawn from the low of the 24th of October to the, or let's say the low of last week to the high of last week. And yep, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, yeah, Friday. So now let's say maybe we could actually aim for, let me just get rid of this Fibonacci here just for now. I'll keep this short one instead. So look, if we do drop below that 1997, if you're, let's say, not comfortable with the bigger Fibonacci, then yes, you can keep an eye on this smaller one. And now my next target will be this 38.2, and then the 50%, and then the 61.8. So 61.8. So that's where I think that, okay, let me just draw this arrow this way. So this is my ideal scenario. Initially, like I said, I'm targeting these levels first, and then we'll go from there. Silver, looking at silver, and yes, this one is honestly, this one is a little bit of annoying, because I keep trying to do something with it. I mean, trying to apply technical analysis, but I'm struggling with that, to be honest. So yeah, at the moment, let's put it this way: if we do remain above the EMAs, then yes, I'll continue targeting the upside. I'll just stick to that simplistic approach here on silver. If we do fall below all of the EMAs, then yes, I'll consider a move lower. That's it. Oil, let me just jump into that one. So this one is flirting with this upside support line drawn from the low of the 18th of July. Now, I said to you that maybe this is not going to carry much significance, but so far it is doing that. But look, I'm also keeping an eye on the 100-day EMA here, shown as the green line. So in other words, if you're looking for some lower levels, then yes, a drop below that 100-day EMA is required, and then yes, we will take it from there. And this 81.74 territory is something that I'm keeping a close eye on, together with the 200-day EMA. If that gets cleared, then certainly further declines are possible. But at this point, let's keep it short and simple. If we do drop below this upside line and this 100-day EMA, then yes, I will go to the downside. In order to consider the upside scenario, well, first of all, of course, this 85.60 territory is still something that I'm watching. And if that gets cleared, then yes, certainly I will aim for some higher levels. And yes, then you know, if we do clear this 85.60, we might also clear the 50-day EMA. Then there's downside line, which is the next target. But if that gets cleared, well, guess what? It opens the door towards some higher levels. Natural gas. So we're after seeing this strong move to the upside last week. We're seeing a bit of a retracement now. So okay, that's fine. The retracement actually started happening on Friday already, and we fell back below this highlighted zone of mine. This 3.47 zone, somewhere around here. And yes, my next question now is, can we go lower? Can we go back to the downside here for a bit of a retracement? Well, let's put it this way. If we do fall below this 3.36 territory, yes, I will go lower. We already did fall, but we're kind of struggling right now. So we need to see a stronger move below this. And then ideally, I'm targeting the 200-day EMA, but I have to accept that the fact that maybe there's going to be like a level here, or maybe this level right there as potential good targets, initial targets, so 3.22 and the 3.16 level, and then we'll go from there, guys. Soybeans, there we go, beautiful. I've talked about soybeans a while ago, and I said to keep your eyes on this downside line. We started oscillating around it, but in general, we started drifting back down. But I said that if we remain somewhere above this highlighted zone here, this 1270, another rebound here could be possible. Boom, there we go. We got that rebound, fantastic, and we broke my barrier, the 1319 level. First of all, we reached my barrier, my target. And now we're breaking it. And now the question is, can we go towards my 100-day EMA right here? And that's going to be my next target. And yep, for now, I would say that yes, I'm really comfortable with that, and I'm really comfortable with that as long as we remain above the 50-day EMA and this 1319 level. If we start falling back below it, then yes, certainly I will consider a bit of a move to the downside. Let me just put this arrow this way right here. If we do start falling back below this 1319 zone, then yes, I will consider a move lower. Bursa Big Bull, good morning. I can see you there in the chat room. Good morning to you too. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I hope everybody else who's watching this one right now had a beautiful weekend. You're all feeling nice and relaxed. And also for people who are watching this as recorded, I hope you also had a wonderful weekend and feeling all relaxed and nice, you know, ready for this crazy week. But yeah, look, coming back to the markets, corn, just a quick one on this one, and so far so good. We're still holding above this steeper, flatter upside support line drawn from the low of the 22nd of August. If that gets clear, then yes, I'll go further south. With the upside, I need to see a push. Actually, you know what? I'll get rid of this steeper upside line. I'm going to stick to these. I'm going to stick to these levels here. So this 500 zone. If we clear that, then yes, my next target is the 100-day EMA. And if that gets cleared, then yes, certainly higher levels could be met here. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin. Okay. Look, we broke the downside line. I talked about this last week, and I said to you to wait for that clearance. So we got that breakout. We moved a little bit higher, but now we're seeing a bit of a retracement back down. So I think that maybe this downside line is no longer needed. I think we need to take a simplistic approach here. You see my Fibonacci here. As long as we remain above the 23.6, then yes, the upside scenario is still possible, but certainly, of course, I will get more comfortable with higher levels if we do clear this barrier, this current highest point of October. For the downside, and you see a drop below that 23.6, which is roughly around that 33,800 zone. If we do drop below that, then yes, I'll aim for that 38.2% retracement, or maybe even the 50% retracement on the Fibonacci here, which, by the way, is coinciding beautifully with my highest point of July. Yep, near the 31,840 zone, somewhere around here. Ethereum, so far also so good. We're still somewhat positive because we're still balancing above this highlighted zone. So if we remain above it, then yes, I'll continue targeting the upside. If we do start dropping below that 1775 territory, then yes, I will consider a move lower towards that 200-day EMA. Ripple, Ripple is, yes, climbing back up. It's climbing back above this hurdle right here, this 0.5493. So in a way, we can say that we could see some higher levels as long as we remain above this territory. For my downside scenario, I have a simple approach here, and I'm waiting for a drop below all of the EMAs in order to go lower. Anything in up above this, above all these EMAs on my daily chart, I'm going to remain somewhat positive. So Litecoin is well, on this one I'm going to be a little bit more on the careful side. Actually, I'm going to wait for a push above that 70.66 territory in order to go higher. And yes, if that gets cleared, if we do push above that 100-day EMA as well, then yes, certainly more buyers here could join in. So basically, long story short, I need to see a clearance of this territory in order to go towards my 200-day EMA. For the downside, first of all, I'm going to get rid of this upside line. I don't want it anymore. For now, I'm just going to keep an eye on my 50-day EMA. If we do drop below it, I'll go a little bit lower. Maybe I'll just, draw something around this, here. But well, we'll see. AUDUSD, yes, there we go. So Australian data, guys, by the way, did I mention that one? We have on wait, let's start off from, so Monday, not much. We only had the retail sales, the preliminary retail sales that came out. Those were much better than the forecast and the previous number, coming out at plus 0.9 against the plus 0.3. Then we have NZD this week, but not on Tuesday. Yes, we have NZD. Wednesday we have NZD as well, with private house approvals, building approvals from Australia, but those are preliminary numbers, not something major. Yeah, it's mainly going to be NZD stuff that's going to be interesting on Wednesday, because we have unemployment, but I'll get to that in a bit. Thursday, as I said, home loans and trade balance. And Friday, we do have retail sales coming out. So yes, the headline, the main ones, not the preliminary ones, but the main ones coming out on Friday. So we'll keep an eye on that one. But again, this pair will be subject to US dollar as well. So at the moment, look, we're breaking this downside line drawn from the high of the 14th of July. So if we continue to trade above it, then yes, my next target is the 50-day EMA together with the 0.6393 zone. And if that gets cleared, then yes, certainly my next target is the 100-day EMA right there. And then we'll go from there. AUDNZD, one of my favorite ones, and there we go, beautiful move. Look at this. I said to keep your eyes on this, guys. Keep your eyes on this highlighted zone together with this the current highest point of October, near the what's that level here? Let me just double check. Near the 1.0925. So yeah, if we do clear that one, then great. Okay, we'll go higher. This could open the door, but at this point I'm being very careful. Maybe this is actually going to go for a bit of a retracement over that 23.6. So I'm just examining that potential scenario. If look, if we do pop above this highlighted zone right here, and we do, let's say, clear all that and just push higher, but then we create a false breakout. Now that's where, yes, I'm going to get very excited with potentially aiming for that 23.6. Of course, my 23.6 will already be somewhere else here, but I'll redraw that. But yeah, look, maybe then we'll go for a nice larger correction. But that's only in the case if we do clear this highlighted zone right here. At this point, we're still below that, so maybe we could go lower straight away. At the moment, I'm liking the downside scenario, but let's put it this way. If you're, let's say, trying to find, okay, from where, right, from where, then maybe from around here, from around this 1.0939, or even better, the 1.0899 level right here. If we do fall below it, that's the current low of today. If we do fall below that, then yes, we could go a little bit lower. AUDCAD, just a quick update on this one. So yes, pushing further north. I'm not going to spend much time on this one. Yes, we're pushing further north. The next target is the this 200-day EMA, and I'm going to stick to that. and then I'll take it from there. My currently this 208 EMA is near the 0.8844 level. Good potential target. Let's wait and see. Around here, we can also test maybe this little hurdle, this 0.8849, but we'll take it from there. For the downside, I would like to see a, well, this is, first of all, I need to get rid of this upside line. I think no longer needed. This downside line can go as well, no longer needed. So if we do fall below this 0.8745 territory, then yes, I'll consider a move to the downside. NZDCHF, like I said, we do have some good stuff coming out from New Zealand this week, especially on Wednesday. Let me just, we do get the labor cost index and employment number, so jobs numbers basically coming out on Wednesday from New Zealand, so keep your eyes on those. But at this point, we're seeing, yes, a nice, beautiful reversal from this highlighted zone of mine. I said to you that if we do break below it and stay below it, then yes, I'll go lower. So far, that's not happening. But even my upside scenario is from around here, somewhere from around the 0.53 zone. If we do climb back above it, then yes, I'll consider a larger correction here to the upside towards my downside line drawn from the high of the 24th of January. USDJPY, boom, there we go. Finally, it happened. Finally, it happened. We broke the upside line, and this upside line, yes, now we're just trading below it, and we fell back below this 150 zone. Okay, that's interesting. So if we continue to trade below that, then yes, my next target is the 50-day EMA here, shown as the red line. Then also maybe this 148.26 zone could be a nice good target. In order for me to go back to the upside, I think that I need to see a move maybe back above this hurdle. You know what? I think I don't like it anymore. I think for me, for the upside, I will stick to something around here. Yeah, this could be an interesting level. So there we go. So if we do climb back above this, I will start looking at some higher levels. This is 149.85. I mean, I think I've talked about this level before a while ago. So yes, good potential area. So now I'll keep an eye on that one as well. But then, of course, certainly the next target is the current highest point of October near the 150.78 zone. And if that gets clear, the forthcoming higher high will be confirmed. But at this point, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the downside. USDCAD, look at this beautiful thing. Mission accomplished. I talked about this on Friday. I said to you that, look, as long as we remain above this 1.38 zone, my next target is the 1.3862. Tick. Beautiful hit. That's the highest point of March, and basically that was the highest point of the year, this year. But now we have a new highest point of the year, and this has been marked here near the 1.38.800 or 1.3880 zone. So yes, if you're looking for some higher levels, a clearance of that zone is needed. If you're looking for some downside, I'm going to take a very, very conservative approach, and I'm going to wait maybe before a drop below the 1.3785 zone right there. And then I'll consider maybe a larger correction to the downside. Or maybe, depending on how this is going to trade here, maybe this is going to be, maybe we could already start looking at some lower levels if we do remain below the 1.3862 territory. Who knows, so because that's the previous highest point of this year. If we do remain below that, then yeah, I will maybe consider maybe a larger correction to the downside. But again, at this point, I think it's forming a bullish flag. So that's why I'm just observing the action. If we do pop above the 1.3880 zone and stay above it, then yes, great. I'll go further north. USDCHF. Okay, so far so good. Working nicely to the upside. I said to you that if we do pop above this 0.8955 territory, somewhere around here, then yes, I will go higher. And so far we're in the right direction. But you know what? This is getting very, very messy, and I really want to do this. I want to remove everything. There we go. Much, much easier, right, for your eyes. So look, first thing I want to say that if we're using the Fibonacci, then you can see that we're climbing nicely. We've already tested that 38.2. Now my next target is the 50% retracement on the Fibonacci, and then we'll just kind of take it from there. In order to consider a move lower, you know what? I will probably stick to the Fibonacci's for now. And in order for me to go lower, a drop below this territory here, this 23.6 is required, and then we we could take it from there. So long story short, drop below the 100-day EMA here could do the trick for a few more sellers here, guys. And yep, and we'll go then for the lowest point of October again. I mean, probably that's going to remain as the lowest point of October, the 0.8888 level. Beautiful number. But yeah, for that, in order to aim for that one, I need to see a drop below that 23.6. At the moment, I'm targeting the 50% retracement on the Fibonacci. So it's something like that. GBPNZD. So there we go. Beautiful hold up still below this downside line. I talked about this pair last week, if you remember, and I said to you that I need to see a clearance of this downside line, and I need to see the pair staying above that area, above that downside line in order to go higher. So far, I'm not getting that. I'm only getting these teasers. For the downside, I said I need to see a drop below this 2.07 territory, 2.0736 territory, somewhere around here. Because at the same time, we could fall below the 50 and the 100-day EMA. And then my next target will be the 200-day EMA. So far, on the right track. GBPJPY, look, I talked about this one as well. I said to you that I'm keeping a close eye on the 181.26 territory, which is the lowest side of the range here. So far, we're on the right track. We're going lower, and yes, my next target is this upside line drawn from the low of the 28th of July of this year. So keep that in mind. For the upside, I need to see a push above the 183.82 zone. I get it; it's a big area to miss out on, like right here, but if I don't feel comfortable with something, I'm not touching it. So that's why I'm not feeling comfortable with this area. So I'm not going to be touching it. I'm just going to be observing the price action. GBPUSD looking good to the downside because look, so far I'm sticking to my game plan, and I said to you that I'm targeting this 1.2037 as long as we remain below this downside line. If we get a break of this downside line, then yes, my next target is the 50-day EMA right here, and then yes, of course, we'll go from there. And certainly, the moment if you're looking for some higher levels, then yes, a break of this downside line again is needed. If you're looking for something, or maybe let's say if you don't like this downside line anymore and you're looking for a little bit something more reassuring, I think maybe this option could be the case. But look, this coincides beautifully with that 50-day EMA, so I also like this downside line here because it might coincide nicely with the 50-day EMA, and then maybe this, yeah, we could wait for a break of this downside line. I get it, a big area to miss out on, but let's see how this is going to play out first, because at the moment I'm leaning a little bit more towards the downside. Nato Stark, good morning to you too. Hope you're having a wonderful start of Monday. EURGBP very quickly on that one. So far so good. We're holding above my 0.87 territory, so that's fine. And yes, I am continuing to aim higher. My next target will be the 0.8740 here, and then if that gets clear, the forthcoming higher high will be confirmed, and potentially then targeting the 0.8760 territory right there. And then we will take it from there, guys. For the downside, drop below the 0.87 territory is needed in order to go lower. But yes, I mean, look, I mean, this arrow is becoming very, very small here. So this idea could be working out. But then if that upside line gets clear, then yes, I'll go a little bit lower. EURNZD, so far also so good, also drifting to the downside, but we still this idea of mine is working out, because as long as I said to you, as long as we remain above the 1.8085 territory, I'm going to continue targeting the upside. So maybe this is just a little correction before another possible leg of buying. If we do fall below the 1.8053, somewhere around here, I will consider a bit of a correction here to the downside, but this is where I need to lower down my ambitions a little bit and only aim for the 50-day EMA or this 100-day EMA first, and then we'll go from there. Maybe we'll clear it, maybe we can then start shifting further south, but yes, at this point I am leaning a little bit more towards the towards the upside. Euro USD finally. So we're back below the upside line. This is where the troubles start for the bulls. I mean, this could lead to some lower levels, but as I said to you last week, I will consider more lower levels if we do drop below the 1.0523 right here, this area, and then yes, we'll take it from there. In terms of the upside, I would like to see a push back, well, not above this level here, but actually now above this little territory right there. Good potential target. Let me just put this on the chart here. So good potential little area, this 1.06 zone. If we do clear it and we jump back above it, then yes, I will consider a move towards the 50-day EMA and then the 100-day EMA. But again, like I said, at this point, the downside scenario is becoming a little bit more attractive. However, a confirmation break is needed, as I said to you, somewhere below this 1.0523 territory, and then we'll go from there. So guys, that's it for this session. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate that. Your views, your rocket ships in there, your comments, everything. I really appreciate that. I hope you found it useful. So yeah, if you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, at my traders, or not traders, my daily pitch international for my traders. Yes, if we, join me tomorrow, we'll have a look at some of these instruments, some new ones. We'll see how Monday has played out, but again, I'm expecting this week to be a little bit more exciting, but at the same time, be very careful, guys. I mean, have your stop losses in place. Risk only what you can afford to lose. Don't overtrade, and everything will be fine. So yes, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for participating. Bye-bye. Hey there, thank you very much for watching this one till the end. I really appreciate that. So like this video, we speculate your next mouse movement will be towards the subscribe button.